Hi, everyone. This is Anne Marie from Living Love Consciously. How are you today? I hope you're doing really well. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about. I know every time I get on here, I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about. So, actually, I was going to open up my phone. I had prepared something, but I don't have time because I just don't have time. So I hope you're doing really well. I hope 2026 is going to be amazing for everyone. So let's just talk about 2026. I was going to talk about divisiveness, but let's just talk about 2026. So I went into 2026 extremely exhausted. I woke up on January 1st. I hadn't slept very well. So I was exhausted. And to me, that was like I don't want to use the word prediction, but it seemed like to be a possible foundation for how I was 26 was going to be for me, and maybe even for the collective. Like it seems like everybody's going to be exhausted, like because there's so much going on and you just don't have time to catch up on all of it and to rest up and just get your energy. So I think for 2026, it's important for you to just make time for self-care. I know it's like self-care is like was like a thing like whatever back, and it became this narcissistic, selfish kind of idea or concept, but self-care means just putting some time aside for you so you can do something that's good for your soul, that's good for your heart, so you can continue to be a good human being. It's not necessarily crazy things. I'm not here to judge you, but it's not like something that's going to be inconveniencing anybody in your life because it is for you. Like, okay, because if I continue to give examples, people might take it as a judgment, but I'm not. Anyway, so I think that's what 2026 is going to be. It's going to be exhausting. There's going to be a lot going on, and you have to be the one to kind of set the tone for yourself in order not to get pulled into all the different chaotic things that are going to be around you. So you're the one who's going to have to create your order because chaos is natural. Chaos, we need chaos. At least that's my opinion. In order to continue to move forward, in order to continue to innovate and develop the human being, your soul, who you are, the person that you are trying to be in this time or manifest in this timeline. So chaos is part of that, but I also believe you need order because without order you can't create anything. You're just going to constantly be in a state of change, but you'll never be able to solidify anything to bring it into the physical reality without order. Like for example, you have atoms, electrons, neutrons, protons, and all those things. And the electrons are the ones that are making the chemical reactions happen because they're the ones constantly moving to different levels within an atom to create chemical reactions. Okay. But your neutrons are neutral and your protons have a positive charge that help to move around those electrons. Right. So, I don't even know if that's true, but I'm going to assume because it's been a long time since I've taken chemistry. So, anyway, the proton and the neutron is what's keeping a level of order in the atom from just completely evaporating and not being anything. Because if you didn't have your atoms and if they weren't stable, you would not exist. Nothing would exist. So in order for us to exist, we have to vibrate at a certain frequency, right? And then that frequency allows us to be at a certain state of solid, gas or vapor or whatever. So it's all dependent on that interaction. So you need both. You need the chaos of the electron just doing its thing, and you need the neutron to kind of hold everything together, right? And then you need the proton to kind of help detract the electron to kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Attract it. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Because you lose an electron, then the atom becomes positive. You gain an electron, the atom becomes negative. Sometimes you can lose two electrons. Sometimes you can gain two. So it's a whole all that marriage, right? We need all of that to say 5 minutes of me talking about protons and electrons, right? So anyway, to come to the point that you need order and you need chaos, but for you need chaos for creation, to make that creation come into your reality, to physically manifest, you need some kind of order. So you can't always just be in disorder, because it's going to drive you crazy. It's going to make you someone that other people don't want to be around, because it's too chaotic, like, to connect with you, right? So that's why it's important. And I think and this is not a prediction about 2026. This is just me talking about like living love consciously and how I think that 2026 is going to be for me, and maybe for you if you relate to this message. So it's going to be chaotic, and you have to be the order that brings things to solidify, so you're not constantly being pulled into different directions and losing yourself, because that's what's important. Because everything that's happening around us, I think, is always an agenda to kind of keep us to for us to lose ourselves. And by losing ourselves, I mean the fact that you are human, the fact that you are loving and kind, and to kind of break that aspect of yourself to make you less loving, less kind, less patient, less of a living love consciously person. Because if you are living love consciously, and when you are living love consciously, life is just better. At least that's my opinion. Like, life is better. We treat each other better. We have things that we connect across. We understand our commonality versus our differences. And then we see, more important, that our commonalities is what makes the world continue. It's what's make the world goes around. Because if we keep focusing on our differences, then again, we are in a state of chaos, and we can never solidify anything, because we're constantly tearing each other apart. And that doesn't make sense, right? That living a life where you're constantly tearing up your neighbor, your friend, your family, your colleague, that sounds miserable, and it sounds exhausting. So that that is what I think I'm trying to say. And I will go back to the same point: is 2026, it's probably going to continue to be chaotic. So be the order in your life, and be the loving, living love consciously human as best possible. So today, just to talk about my head wrap. So I washed my hair, and I didn't feel like taking it down to, look a certain way for you guys. And I have like something called Bantu knots, and I don't have a lot of hair, so they are not cute. They're just not on my head. And then so I'm like one of those like people with like thin hair. So I have a lot of hair, but it's thin. So when I braid it, or when I do certain things, it just looks like it's not cute. So that is why I'm wearing a head wrap. This is cuter to me. It may not be cute to you, but it's cuter to me than what my hair would look like otherwise. Anyway, so that is basically it. I don't really have anything else to say to you guys. I like to try to keep the videos under 20 minutes. And this is going to be a short one, of course. So again, I wish you well for 2026. Keep your foundation strong. Keep your network strong. And always, always, no matter what, try to come from a loving space. And I was going to like write this love letter to 2026, but I don't think it's necessary anymore, because despite the struggles, what I'm going to do, like I just mentioned, is connect to the things that I know bring joy to my life, so that I stay centered and I continue to attempt to be a decent human. And I hope you try that out as well. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about 2026? What energy did you pay attention to, how you felt coming into 2026? I don't party anymore. I kind of like just chilling. Like if I could go back to my old self, I would just be like, just chill. Like, don't drink. Don't think like you need to party hard into the next year. Just chill, enjoy it, get some rest. Get some rest. Things like that. That's what I would go back and tell my younger self. I probably wouldn't listen, but I would definitely tell my younger self that. All this partying, drinking, and stuff. Like, not that I did a lot of drinking, but when I did, it was never really fun for me. I only did it to fit in, basically, to fit, like, not to be the weird person who doesn't drink. Because that is sometimes a situational thing. And I don't, and I'm not saying people who drink are bad because I do enjoy a drink, but like going to I don't like to lose my my mental like clarity. I don't. So that's why I try to stay as clear as possible. All right. Again, let me know in the comments. How did you feel about 2026? How did you celebrate 2026? And I personally don't believe in resolutions anymore. So, but if you want to and you believe in resolutions, let me know. Do you have any resolutions? What are you looking forward to for 2026? Take care of yourself. Remember, being a kind human is what makes the world go round. I love you. Take care of yourself. Bye.